all socials. That's Concrete Genius Pod, man. Get a look at his handsome face and tap in with me in any availability you have, man. Thank you for joining me. This will be a quick little breakdown. I got a question to ask you guys, man, and I'm very interested in the answer. Do you guys really heal from forgiveness, or do you heal from living your life to the fullest and ignoring the person that's hurting you? Because do we really forgive people? Like, honestly, do you ever get to the point? Because what happens is you forgive people so much that you become cold to forgiveness. And that's the state where I am. I can't speak for any of you guys, but for me, forgiveness sometimes is a myth. I think it's more about forgiving yourself than it is forgiving them. I give you an example. Somebody do you wrong. Somebody enters your life and takes advantage of your realness or your authenticity and preys on your friendship and your compassion to take advantage of you. And later on, you find out that person is not genuine in who you think they are. Or they cross you out for something that you really needed, or they turn around and they say some things to you that you might have shared that been hurtful. But in any event, this person has just been dastardly to you. Do you forgive them? Nah, you don't forgive them. You forgive yourself for allowing that type of person around you. And then you also forgive yourself as quick as possible so you can notice the signs and know that you don't ever want this type of poisonous mentality around you again. But do you really forgive them? And I'm a Christian. I am a devout Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. I do believe in heaven. So I'm not knocking people who forgive. I actually envy those people because I wish I had that type of compassion. I mean, I got people who I had friendships with for years and they stood on the wrong side of something and I've just decimated the friendship. I've had people who I've looked out for and showed love to and I felt stabbed me in the back, and now even in their coldest times, I can't even pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I envy those of us Christian and, you know, whatever denomination you may be, but I've envy those people who can actually forgive someone to the point that they're actually over it. I don't know if I ever reached that point in life. What I can do is heal myself from what I feel like a violation I maybe let transpire, or maybe heal myself from allowing somebody around me that wasn't good for my aura. I just can't explain it, but I think if we took the focus from saying forgive the person and put the focus on forgiving ourselves, I think that's going to automatically make the person irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? I feel like saying forgive somebody honestly gives them too much power. Nah, like, and I think forgiveness is sometimes unfortunately wired into our DNA as Black people. We are too forgiving. Somebody accidentally bumps into you. Hey, excuse me. I'm not talking irrational situations. But what I'm saying, if somebody does something to you, right? Say you got a cousin that's stealing from you. Every time you turn around, he's stealing from you, but you trusting him. He's been stealing for 3 years. You catch him after 3 years. And cuz, I'm so sorry, man. I can't forgive that. You only sorry because you got caught. You see what I'm saying? Now, you can be sorry because you got caught, but that still doesn't deem forgiveness. I might have could forgave you after 6 months. You say, you know what, cuz, it's on my heart. The numbers came back wrong. I've been getting extra. I should have said something a couple of months ago. I was getting greedy, but my heart won't let me. I make him rock with that. But if you only ask for forgiveness because you got caught, then nah. And then what happens to me, honestly, everybody I've ever forgiven ended up fucking it off anyway. Excuse my language. They ended up taking advantage of the blessing anyway. That's why I say forgiveness is kind of a hoax. You know what I'm saying? I think you need to more work on forgiving yourself, being therapeutic to yourself, being kind to your mind, being kind to your brain to avoid high blood pressure and stress related issues. Be kind to yourself, but don't make forgiveness about the person because you still thinking about the person. Like me, I'm content with saying, nah, bro, I hate you, but I got to fix me for allowing somebody that I hate around me. That's how I heal. You see what I'm saying? Because no, it's not about forgiveness. It's about resolving the conflict or the disloyalty in your mind, rationalize it in your brain. It ain't about them. Because if they gave a shit about you, you wouldn't have to forgive them for nothing. So people can make mistakes and come back later. A misunderstanding can be forgiven. If somebody say, "Ah, man, we ain't communicate like we should have." Oh, you know what, man? I was going through something. I was too, bro. Misunderstanding. So for me, even blowing up to get to that point, I owe you an apology. It's a misunderstanding. That's different. But forgiveness for people who do things to you, like I could never, especially depending on how egregious the sin is. You driving drunk, you hurt somebody, that family doesn't have to forgive you. And that's the one thing I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get us to white people. White people know how to ask for forgiveness. No, matter of fact, they don't even ask for forgiveness. But one thing about white people, if you go in court and you hurt somebody white, they gonna go to court and they gonna ask for the maximum sentence allowable under the law. And then they gonna come to court at your sentence and they gonna tell you they hope you burn in hell. Something kind of honorable about that level of consistency. You know what I'm saying? What really disgusted me was that time when Dylan Roof went in there and assaulted them people, and they was up there talking about they forgave him. We are in no position to be forgiving nobody. Now we can move on and forgive ourselves for the trauma that whatever they did to us caused us, but we are in no position to be forgiving nobody. I like it when black people go to court and be like, you know what, I hate you. You ruined my life. You ruined my family. I wish I could get my hands on you. That's therapeutic. We can't be going to court to, oh man, somebody went in there with a on a racist agenda and shot up 10 people. Ain't no forgiveness for him. He ain't determining my path to heaven. I hate him. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to be honest about our feelings. And I think that'll make life easier, and it'll also not allow you to be taken advantage of. Because sometimes you can be so warped in forgiveness that sometimes you step into borderline foolishness. And I've been a victim of that, and I'm a sharp dude. But sometimes you can be so content on trying to be a Christian and be holy and forgive people, or people tell you all the time, don't forgive for them, forgive for you. Nah, man, you do forgive for you. I agree with that. But you also don't want to be so forgiving that you allow second chances. You see what I'm saying? Because second chances lead to third and four times being taken advantage of, and then you're gonna start being a fool. And nobody wants to be the fool. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can stand alone being stubborn. I've been stubborn. I've been defiant. I can stand alone being that. But I also can stand up strong and proud with my head high and my chin high, knowing that I walked away from somebody making a fool out of me. And I don't care if I got to walk away 99 times. I'm never going to be the person where you can constantly make a fool out of me. I feel bad for forgiving people that I fell out with again. So I think the concept of forgiveness isn't overrated, but the concept about making it about the other person is. When somebody does something to you, you the victim. The trauma happened to you. So don't allow yourself to be a victim, but don't allow yourself to not break down what allowed you to get victimized. Oh, I'm too nice. Oh man, this person came and I loaned this. Oh man, you made it bad for everybody else. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And I think sometimes we gotta hold people to higher character standards. in the black community, and we won't have to be as stressed out about who doing somebody wrong. The minute you find out somebody in your circle is moving unethically, then that conversation needs to be had. And that's what separated and made the black community so great to live in the 60s and 70s. Even though we weren't economically as strong as we are now, we had standards and ethics in the black community that allowed us to understand what and what wasn't acceptable. We knew our neighbors, you know, as violent as I was in some of the neighborhood gangbanging activities, I wouldn't allow nobody in my house on my block for their house to get broken in. Like if I saw you and I knew you was one of them thieving, burglaring dudes, you know, you got to get off this block, bucko. Not just my mom crib, but anybody, because what happens is if I let you break into the house down the street, pretty soon you're going to think you can break into my mama's shit. And that's not happening. So we had a code of ethics in the black community that we don't have no more. Like I don't even speak to half my black neighbors, the few that I got. I don't even speak to half my white ones. Like ain't no sense of community no more. Even if you live in a area with a black neighbor, it's not that sense of community no more. We don't have that. We don't have the ability to even scold other black children no more. We lost that ability also because we became such a separated, divided community. So we need to stop talking about sometimes forgiveness, because what happens is we didn't learn how to forgive everybody but each other. You see what I'm saying? We'll shoot each other at the club because somebody spoke to your ex-girlfriend you've been broke up with 6 months. But then when somebody of another nationality do something to you, boy, it'll be like, you lucky, bro. You lucky we out here around them white folks. Nah, man, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. That's why I say an air of accountability, an air of being men, an air of being women. Like we need that type of reality back in the black community. And we need to also learn how to control our emotions and not look at things through the lens so emotionally. You know, I don't know if a black person that's really desolate and down on their luck has somewhere to go for help. I mean, mentally, if you black and you having mental health problems, who can you actually call? Like, if you a man and you sitting around stressing about how I'm gonna take care of my family tomorrow, who can you call? Or are you a man, somebody done violated you, but you also care about waking up with your son in the other room? Who can you call or talk to? So those are the type of things we got to address in the black community. How to calm our stressors down, how to learn to coexist with each other, how to stop being so caught up in entertainment and the dopamine of the internet and going viral and recording, going live and rubbing your face and all that, to figuring out why are so many black women victims of domestic violence. It's no way that we should have so many murdered black women, black mothers. It's despicable to the black community. As men, our job is to be protectors and providers. Don't let your inability to provide affect your duty as a protector. Some women appreciate your ability to be protectors, but we have to protect what brought us here, and that's the black woman. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't no saint. I'm not here. Lord knows I done had my flaws. But it's a few things I don't do. I don't argue with no woman that ain't mine. I've never been in a situation where I had some conflict with somebody and I seen it with that girl and I still engaged in that conflict. Even as teenagers, we respected the code of women. And there's no way that we should have so many murdered, missing unaccounted for black women. We have to stop shucking and jiving. Stop doing dances, making dances. Stop being idiots. And start figuring out how can we make the women in our lives more protected, the elderly in our lives more protected. It's no way that an elderly woman should walk in front of a group of black men and not feel safe. It's no way an elderly person should walk in front of a group of young black men and not feel safe. So these are the manners, these are the behaviors that we have to nourish upon each other. We have to start saying please and thank you and may I, are you okay? Because we all we got, whether you know it or not. So it's a must that we protect each other. Now, I recorded a podcast. I talked about a lot of flaws of the black community. You're going to see that pod. But now I'm talking about healing. We need each other. We got to stop being so angry. We got economic power. We got buying power. On the 28th, shutting it down, not spending no black dollars. But I want to take it further than that. I want a violence-free weekend. Or just 24 hours. The internet is strong enough to where every black person in the community, even if you got conflict with 100 people, stay in the house for one day. Let's start affecting and reaching the men who don't get a chance to reach 21 as a free man or a living man. And we can affect that by working on conflict resolution and putting forth stop the violence efforts in greater detail. See, stopping the violence is great. It's a great message. It's a great message for people to get a tax write-off and get a donation and start a nonprofit. It's good. But if you really want to stop the violence, you have to teach kids how to deal with conflict and catch them before they become so violent or not knowing how to use their violence. Because most black men have a level of rage and soldier in them. The environment calls for it. Survival calls for it. But if you can have the emotional intelligence with that anger, we can start resolving things in the black community. We must create some type of unity between black men and black women. We must have a baseline level of respect for black men and black women. We should also have community outreach programs where people struggling should be able to get groceries and blankets and energy assistance and heaters, books, writing utensils, resume building skills. And I know it's a lot of places in the community where people can do that. But everybody don't got to learn how to be a content creator. All right? Like turning to content creators has turned into the new record deal. Like everybody don't got to be a content creator. Everybody's not good at creating content. Everybody don't have the articulation skills for content. Everybody don't have the face for content. Everybody don't have the demeanor for content, and that's cool. We need to teach conflict resolution. We need to teach reading and writing legible sentences. We need to tell kids about the ability of entrepreneurship, trade school, taxes, deductions, home ownership, property ownership, saving, stocks. These are what we need to teach little black children before they become so intellectually consumed with the get back and the violence and the respect. But us as leaders, you 70s babies, you 80s babies, and hell, some of you 90s babies, you early 90s babies, y'all up there too now. Gotta stop being so angry with each other. Gotta stop being so violent. Listen, you can enjoy the fruits of modern hip hop and society and swag and still not be stuck in your second or third childhood. All right. So we got to give the young OGs something to look up to. You know, expound on some of the benefits of why you enjoy being a family man. When I get on this pod, I always like to tell dudes the benefit of being a husband, the benefit of being a father, the benefit of being somebody who has impacted the community. Regardless of what some of those I may not have gotten out of it, what I returned, what I wanted, I still help people who couldn't help themselves. And that right there is forever going to be a blessing in God, a caveat, a feather in God's hat. Because he knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? We got to figure out a way to be nicer to each other, to be role models. Some of you women, y'all too old to be twerking, jumping up and down, shaking your butt like your daughter 12, she twerking. She trying to be grown. We got too much of abundance of little girls painting their nails, wigs, trying to be grown at 12. I'm sorry. I know this scab hurts, but it has to come off. Too many women are caught up in their own TikTok videos, Instagram videos, and taking their vacations and take me back, and I just got to get away. And you look up, your daughter's a whore in training. Your son's a thug in training. All them little pictures he used to take with the money holding this shit up 3 years ago. Now he's officially he's a lieutenant in the teenage gangster army. He's already there because you want to toot your ass and shake your ass, or you having random meaningless relationships. I'm sorry. And black men, y'all got to do better. Raise the bar for yourself. Stop meeting women and you don't have yourself together. Get an apartment, get a car. Clean up after yourself. Stop having roommates, bro. You a grown man. Bro, you 27, 28, 30. There's no way you should have no roommate, bro. Times is never that hard that I got to split the bill with another grown man. Unless it's some shit that I hit rock bottom. Hey, bro, I need a month to get on my feet. Okay, cool, bro. You got it. Don't even pay me, bro. Just stack your bread for a month, bro. Go on, do what you got to do. But as far as saying, hey, bro, we going to sign this lease together for 6 months, 12 months, bro, you are a grown man. Have shelter, have a home, have an automobile, have some source of income. Find other tangible skills besides your paycheck that can make you some income. Figure out what you're good at and capitalize off of it. But whatever you do, stop coming in relationships looking to lead, and you don't even have your life in control from a leadership standpoint. The reason I could come into a marriage or a relationship being a leader when I was single is because I had my own property, my crib. It was lace, furniture, big screens, music, carpet. I vacuumed every day, plug-ins, player shit, new silverware, potware, the newest microwave, big king size bed frame, dresser set, kitchen, nice shower curtains, other kitchen decorated. Like, I was pretty fly with that shit. I was independent. So when I decided to get into a relationship, I come into a relationship as a leader because I was secure in my ability to lead and provide for myself. Now I can do it for others. You can't come in a relationship bossing no woman around, bro, and you ain't got nowhere to live. You know what I'm saying? Do for self. And then you could do for others. And then if others don't do you right, you still know how to do for self, so you always protect it. It's going to take some time. But I think the first challenge is we as Black Americans got to stop being so angry. Stop looking for the internet for our release of emotions. Stop setting standards, letting people who have nothing set standards for you on the internet. People who using beauty filters and people who taking pictures, miserable pictures. People get dressed up on internet, on Instagram just to be lonely and you letting that make you mad. No, man. Live your real life in abundance and find joy. Put the phone down, talk to God. Take 5 minutes and just talk to God and just listen. Be still. Like, stop letting people who use the internet for their escape manipulate you. These people are not happy. The internet is so bad, chick sent flowers to herself for Valentine's Day. Man, you know how many people I know personally dressed up like they was going out on a date for Valentine's Day, and I know they did not go on a date for Valentine's Day? That's where we are in the state of community. So why are you letting people do that on the internet? You know how many people I know who go on trips and ain't even pay their bills, that other people that got to borrow money from somebody to pay their rent, but they on vacation? But you frustrated because all your bills paid, but you can't go on vacation. No, man, that phone is the devil. That phone is the devil. I got one more question, man. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. This handsome face is for your enjoyment and your entertainment and your ability to absorb knowledge from me while I'm here. I am a vessel. I am an architect. I am an encyclopedia in the Black community. So my presence, my knowledge is a blessing for you. And I understand that. Follow me on all social, Concrete Genius Pod, please. And thank you. What has been more of a detriment to the Black community? Has it been social media or crack cocaine? Now, it's easy to say crack. Crack destroyed a lot of communities, bro. A lot of people went to prison for a long time. A lot of people died, crack addicts. A lot of crack destroyed a lot of lives. It was rough growing up around crack. But it was also some, I ain't gonna say no positives, but it's some people that turned water into wine out of crack situation. It was dropped to us. We didn't know what we was doing. It sent a lot of us to prison. It's horrible. One of the worst things that happened to the Black community. And that's the stance I took. But let's think about social media for a second and the phone. People don't even raise their children to teach them how to count no more. Baby Shark teach their children how to count. Bro, you got dudes in Arkansas and Philadelphia talking about smoking dead ops, sliding, poles, sticks. That's social media. People will take money that's not theirs and take a picture of it on their arm and then pass it to somebody else. That's social media. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's people that can't even go leave a house without a wig and makeup. That's social media. Do you know how many fights before social media I done seen where two people about to fight and people like, hey, come on, man, y'all don't need to be doing that, man. Let that go, bro. And we was teenagers. Come on, man, chill out, bro. What y'all fighting over, man? Oh, he said that. Bro, look, we ain't trying to see that, bro. It's too many of y'all. It's going to get bad. Y'all let that go. Strangers would see fights before the event of social media and be like, hey, man, y'all break that up, bro. Come on, man. Hey, we don't need to see this, y'all. Now, everybody pulling their phone out, bro. You could be drowning, bro. You could be shot on the ground. And somebody will start recording before they call 911. Think about that, bro. Like, you could see a challenge, right? They had a twerk from the ceiling challenge, bro. You putting the cameras up high. Chicks be twerking with their babies in the room, bro, for attention from people that they don't even know in piss poor studio apartments. Come on, bro. Do you know how many people have died? A lot of people died over crack wars, so I'm not minimizing that. But I don't know the numbers, and maybe we can never get the exact numbers. But there's been a lot of people that have died and went to prison over something that was said on social media. Every day. in some community. Somebody is reading something online, threatening somebody online, committing a crime online, planning to commit a murder because somebody said something to them online, and then going out to commit said murder due to everything they saw on their phone. Now, crack was bad, but we still had morals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sold crack. I wasn't going to sell crack to nobody pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Even if they say she going to buy it from somebody, I had moral. We had morals. We have no morals. Educated black people were different. They turned their nose up at the crack era. Most of them. It was different. It was what you did to survive. You took advantage of it, and then you went on to bigger and better things. The phone, yes, you can run a business from your phone. Yes, you can connect with family and friends from all over the country. Yes, you can make business connections and you can record podcasts, you can record content, you can go viral, and you can get you a check from this shit. But man, our kids can't go without it. Buy your middle school kid a phone that ain't an iPhone and see what they do. Just say, I'm gonna just give you this phone if you need to call me, bro. It's just a little flip phone, a little block phone, ain't got no internet on it. Man, them kids will rebel. Cut the Wi-Fi off for 24 hours for your children. Cut it off for the adults. Cut it off for me. Social media got the entire country acting like a metamorphosis of Chicago, Memphis, and Atlanta. And a little bit of Detroit sprinkled in, a little LA, a little New York. That's every gangbanger in the country. It's no regionalism, it's no individualism, it's no uniqueness to cities, it's no other than food and maybe slang, some slang. Most places act the same. Most women act the same. Most brunch places are the same. Most menus look the same. Most drink prices play the same. It's, social media did. Social media got you paying the same price for a drink in Washington, D.C. that you would be paying in Las Vegas at a bar. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, social media got every city trying to act like they got a nightlife scene like Atlanta or Houston. It's just ridiculous. Social media got women in their 30s, bro, wearing lingerie outside. And they don't even look good in it. Like, at least before social media, if a woman wore some whore shit, she had a sexy whore body. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? At least you can be, okay, shit. Yeah, you got to get your conversation or your money right. But damn, I see it. It fit her. That little crop top, them shorts. You know what I'm saying? That skirt. You know what I'm saying? She wearing this provocatively. Okay, I see it. She could be 6'1", 325, bro. And some motherfucking in a thong and some panties. Talking about how dare you shame me. You shamed yourself, baby. The internet shamed you. Social media shamed you to think that shit was acceptable. You shamed yourself. You got a woman that can't even get in the lift and suing people because she overweight. That's social media, bro. And she rapping. That's social media. Nobody should be that arrogant without having the arrogance to say, let me do 15 toe touches. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. Follow me on all socials. This your boy, Sauce McKenzie. But I love black people, though. I love y'all. That's why I put out these messages, because I don't, nobody's time on earth is guaranteed. Actually, we all know that. But even just spiritually, like, I just like to talk to people because I feel like my messages are timeless. It's enough people on social media doing a lot of different things to keep you entertained. And sometimes I may keep you entertained, but I like to also entertain you with a thought process of knowledge. We don't need you grown niggas making no more dances. All right? Some of you niggas should stop rapping. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all can rap. Some of y'all good at it. Some of y'all should stop rapping. Like, I remember a businessman asked me, right? And he was like, it's something unique about you. I can feel it. He said, but when you really get rich, you're going to be able to explain it. He said, see, there's millions of people trying to explain a story, and it ain't nowhere as unique as yours, John. It's nowhere near as captivating as it's brilliant, but they use car salesmen. Once you figure out how rare and how valuable your car is, it's going to sell itself. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. Yeah, man, we got to start protecting black women. That's my message, man. Protect black women at all costs. Why y'all so angry? Why y'all let the internet make y'all so angry? Stop threatening people on the internet. You too damn old for that shit, bro. Your back hurt, your feet hurt, you got bunions. You in your 30s, bro. You stop threatening people on the internet. Stop letting the internet get you to the point where you feel like you're going to crash out on somebody. I done had people say reckless shit to me on the internet all the time. I've had weirdos, dude, give me some mail on the internet. I send it to somebody like, hey, check on this dude. And I've told y'all what happened. I found, all right, this nigga live with his mama. This nigga a DoorDasher. I'm not finna, but I was that mad. Instead of getting that mad, I just block people. I'm not going to prison for, I'm not even gonna let nobody even risk going to prison for harming a DoorDasher, bro. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. Learn conflict resolution, learn peace of mind, and learn that I am sent to you from the Most High to make you think, to make you blink, to make you remember why God put us here, to protect each other, to love each other, to stop being so angry. Man, I get angry at women. I've been angry at women, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never thought about putting no motherfucker in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I talk that shit, but nah, man. Love yourself enough to not only to avoid conflict, but to see yourself as a protector of women. Honestly, I'm just a natural protector anyway. But around black women, I'm in my bag, bro. Like, hey, you good? You need anything? And a lot of dudes say, well, they don't deserve that, or they don't carry themselves as ladies. Well, let me be respectful, and then we'll determine that later. But I'm going to always start off with respect with anybody I meet, but especially a black woman. Because if we don't protect them, nobody will. And I know a beautiful black woman created me, so I owe that to society and my female ancestors and those who have blessed and anointed me and nourished me, just like I owe it to my male black ancestors. And it took time to learn how to not be so violent and be so quick to ready to kill another black man. See, this black man, you ready to reach for that pistol immediately. When it's somebody white, not black, you think about it though. Man, because you know psychologically in your head, man, they gonna give me 100 years for every bullet when I shoot this white man. I know I'm never gonna see freedom again. You think you shoot that black boy, I might got a shot. And even if you don't think you got a shot, you've never been taught to love yourself enough to value yourself to not hurt him. So you damn sure don't respect his life. And that's how we raised in cages. We raised in MMA fight night to the death cages. So learning how to love each other is a process. When I was 16, I thought, hey, I was all right. Look, before I let somebody put their hands on me, I'm going to shoot them. I'm 16, bro. So think about, and this was before the internet. This was just the influence of the neighborhood. So now I think of kids who got the influence of poverty, the neighborhood, and the phones. We really in a state of emergency, man. Respect black, love black, honor black, but hold black accountable. All these pedophiles and these groomers and these child molesters, we got to hold them accountable. And I'm gonna tell you one more thing, then I gotta get out of here. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's a lot of game in one day. But I want to say something to some of you niggas and you women. If you 24, right? And you know a kid that's 15, and then that kid turns 18 and you start dating that kid, you a groomer. You just as sick as a sex offender, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't know how to not tell you that that gap is too wide. I feel like you've been predatory. If you coaching a youth girls basketball team and they in the 8th, 9th grade, 7th grade, and then in 5 years, you start dating one of those youth basketball players, it's off with your head. You are a despicable human being. We got to start calling out despicable behavior. If you are a 30-year-old black woman and you messing with a man 17, 18, you are a despicable human being. But if you knew him before he was an adult, you extremely despicable. And we got to start calling that type of behavior. I feel like we oversexed and we lose our morals when it comes to sex and sexualized behavior, and that's not appropriate. So I want to make you think, and I want to make you inquisitive to what's going on with us. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. I love y'all. We out. And by the way, before I get out of here, this was a live recording, man. You know I'm working on my skills. Take them to the next level, man. Hey, one take Charlie, y'all remember this shit. Trust me. You don't want to bang with the Midwest. Y'all remember this shit, man. Stop playing with me.